You're going to need 2 blocks and either a folded up blanket or a small bolster. And we're actually going to start on our backs today. So you're going to take your bolster or your blanket, lay it behind you, and we're going to have our head on the floor and our shoulders supported by the bolster or the blanket. So it'll look like so. And you can wiggle around and kind of slide so your shoulders are off the blanket. So let's do that actually. Slide a little bit forward so that you feel kind of that mid rib cage area supported. And then your hands are going to open up overhead. Bring your arms into like cactus. And you should just feel that the rib cage has a little bit of support and a little bit of opening. And you can bend or straighten your legs, whatever feels more supportive. And then I just want you to notice the very bottom last rib on the back of your body. And see if you can't, without changing your breath dramatically, just start to breathe and notice that bottom rib. Bring some awareness there. And as you inhale, just gently filling up that very bottom rib. Our practice today, we're going to use yoga as more of a tonic, a remedy to work on the circulatory system, the respiratory system through postures, but we're addressing different meridians in the body. And now I want you to bring your awareness into the front of your ribs, right at the bottom rim of your rib cage. Can you just breathe in a way that you notice the breath coming in and filling up the front rim of the rib cage? And then notice the outer border of the rib cage, the sides of your rib cage. And see if you can't just bring some awareness into the sides of your ribs. Let your head drop back, let your brain drop back. And then start to deepen your breath and start by bringing the breath into the back ribs, into the sides, and then into the front rib cage, creating an ujjayi breath, so a little sound at the back of your throat. But that there's this patience behind the breath. We're going to move in a moment and start to create a little bit of circulation, but then we're going to work on some longer holds today. Creating different shapes in the body to stimulate areas under the skin to encourage circulation, to encourage flow. In yoga, we call energy prana. In traditional Chinese medicine, we call it qi. But it's just that movement of potential inside of ourselves that's carrying and moving fluids and pulsing us. So take another moment here, because our breath is the most important factor here, and paint the inside of your rib cage with your awareness. So back rim of the rib cage, sides of the ribs, front rim of the rib cage. And then if your legs are straight, please bend them. Stay with your breath. Draw your knees towards each other, and then slowly roll over to your right side and just pause. Let your head rest in your arm. Feel a little bit of pressure on that right rib cage. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Good. And then nice and slow, you're going to walk yourself back up and make your way into downward facing dog, please. Just kind of sneak on in there. Spread your fingers and your toes. And now you've changed the orientation of your body. Can you find that same awareness in your rib cage? So finding the back ribs, the sides of your ribs, the front of your ribs, and that there's a really slow, patient cadence to your breath. It's not suffocating. It's very patient, but it's also thorough when you come to the exhale, that you want to make sure that you're rinsing out the exhale, that you feel that border of the rib cage also close towards itself as you breathe out. Take one more inhale here. One more exhale, push forward with your hands, send the top of the thighs back. And then inhale, come forward to plank. And as you're here, I want you to push the floor away, mound the upper back. You can always set the knees down if you need to. Keep that action of pushing the floor away, but now turn your sternum forward and look towards me. Oot to the tippy tops of the toes. Chaturanga, nice and slow, lower down. Keep the hands where they are. Pick your head, shoulders, and feet up. Shalabhasana. Inhale. Gaze down your cheeks. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes. Turn your quadriceps on. Push into your hands and come up to plank, but mound your back at the top. Inhale. And then exhale, down dog. Good. We're going to repeat that again. Inhale, come forward to plank. Mound the upper back. Exhale, turn the sternum forward. Lean forward. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes. And chaturanga, slow. Good. Locust. Inhale, pick up the feet. Gaze down your cheeks. Excite your legs. And lower. Exhale. Tuck your toes, push to plank, but go slow. Inhale, mound the upper back at the top, and then slide back to down dog. Good, one more time like that. Inhale, plank, push the floor away. So there's a dome in the upper back right at first. Exhale, just turn the sternum forward. Keep pushing the floor away. Now inhale, lean into your tippy toes, and chaturanga. Good. Locust. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes. Push to plank. Inhale. Dome the upper back. Downward facing dog. Exhale. And just take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Drop your brain. And then walk your feet to your hands. Take your time. Deep forward bend. Exhale. Come up halfway, lengthen your spine. Soften your knees, lift the skin of your sitting bones up, and then exhale, fold. Good, do that 2 more times. Really spread your toes. Inhale, push into your feet, lift the sitting bones up, sternum up, and fold. Pull yourself together. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Ground into your feet, rise to stand. Inhale. And hands to heart. Exhale. Just pause. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms up, ground your feet. Exhale, forward fold. Nice and patient, starting to paint the inside of the rib cage again. Halfway lift. Inhale, back ribs, side ribs, front ribs. Exhale, fold again. Step to plank. Inhale, push the floor away. Remember, we're doming the upper back. And then exhale, keep that pushing action. Just turn your sternum forward and look towards me. Inhale, scoot to your tippy toes. Chaturanga, exhale. Locust, inhale, pick up the legs, gaze down your cheeks. And exhale, lower. Push up to plank, inhale, dome the upper back. And downward dog, exhale. Good, take one breath here. And see if you can't let some heaviness come into the brain, so you feel your brain get closer to the crown of your head. And then walk your feet to your hands. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Good, rise to stand, inhale. And hands to heart, exhale. Good, we're just gonna do that one more time. Take a breath here and painting the ribs. So back ribs, side ribs, front of the ribs. As you exhale, ground your feet, release your hands. And then inhale, paint the ribs again, but reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift the skin of your sitting bones up as you fold, which may mean you need to bend the knees. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold again. Ground your hands, step back to plank. You're pushing the floor away the whole time, so there's a little mounding in the upper back. Strong legs. And now exhale, just turn your sternum forward. Look towards me. Inhale, scoot to your tippy toes and chaturanga. Locust, inhale, curl up. Exhale to lower. Plank, inhale. Mound the back, and then send the hips back, downward dog. Take a breath. Exhale completely. Step your right foot forward into warrior. Right foot forward, spin your back heel down, and you'll come on up, warrior two. Go heel to arch alignment with the feet. Good, and now reverse your arms. Inhale. Stay for a breath and just pause. Feel your right heel print, push it down. Widen your right knee to the right, but spin your rib cage to the left. Good, now paint the inside of your right lung with your breath. Exhale. Good, from here, you're just gonna spin your right toes in and come to right side skater. So spin your right toes, your right knee in, left arm comes in front. Bend your right knee. Take a breath here, get your butt back, and your chest is a little bit more towards the center, but you are leaning to the right a bit. Good, take a breath. Exhale, heels heavy, get your butt back, hug in around the sides of your waist. And now you're just gonna swim to the back of the mat and spin into a lunge, left side lunge. Take a breath, drop your tailbone, knit your front ribs in, push into your left heel, take a breath. And then exhale, warrior three, lean forward, lift the right leg and hover. Spin your right heel down, hands are wherever it's helpful. Beside you is easier, in front of you is harder. Take a breath. Exhale. Good. Step back to your lunge. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, left side skater. Spin your left knee in, right arm in front of you. Good. Inhale, swim all the way to the front. Come to me. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come to warrior two. Spin your back heel. Reverse your arms. Inhale. So now we're flowing that together. Right side skater. Spin and right knee bends, left arm in front. Inhale, swim to the back, lunge. Exhale, warrior three. Good. Step back, lunge. Exhale, spin your body, left side skater, bend your left knee. Come all the way to me, face me. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, warrior two, spin the back heel. Reverse your arms, inhale. Exhale, right side skater. Stay low, swim to the back. Inhale, lunge. Paint the rib cage. Exhale, warrior three. Good, just step back, lunge, inhale. Exhale, spin your body, left side skater, bend your left knee. Stay low, swim to the front. Inhale, come to me. Exhale, warrior two, spin that back leg. Reverse your arms, inhale. Right side skater, bend your knee, get low. Good, swim to the back, inhale. Warrior three, exhale. Good, step back, lunge. Paint the rib cage. There's a patience underneath this. Exhale, left side skater. Swim to the front, come all the way to me. Exhale, warrior two, last round, stay low. Reverse your arms, inhale. Right side skater, exhale. Inhale to the back, lunge. And exhale, warrior three. So it's almost like you never really stop. Step back, inhale. Left side skater, exhale. Swim to the front. Inhale, reach up. Downward facing dog, exhale. Good. You can stay on dog if you like. Otherwise, we're going to move through that new vinyasa. Inhale. Exhale, sternum. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Locust. Lower. Plank. And dog. Drop your head. Drop your brain. And just notice the circulation. Tune into the heartbeat. And also tune in to the feeling of your breath coming in and painting the inside of your lungs. Painting the inside of your rib cage. The back border, the side borders, the front border. Let's step your left foot forward, please. Warrior two, second side. So taking a moment to really mark the shapes so there's an imprint in the body. We have heel to arch alignment. Bend your left knee. The pelvis just gently turns to the left. That helps widen this left knee and keeps it safe. Make sure your left toes are forward, not turned in or out. And extend your back leg. Squeeze your leg. Drop your pelvis. Good. The ribs spin to the right as the pelvis spins to the left a bit. Reverse your arms. Inhale. Stay here. Get down into that left thigh if you can, a little deeper. And paint the inside of your left lung. The heart and the lung meridians run through the arms. And so we're just opening up this whole side body to receive circulation. Good. Now, don't overthink it. Just turn your left toes in. Keep your left knee bent and wrap your right arm in front of you. So we're in left side skater. It's like a speed skater, right? Like Olympic speed skater here. Get your butt back, hug in around the sides of the waist, and your sternum lifts a little bit. Think up dog in your chest. Good. Stay low, get low. And we're going to swim to the back. Go slow, spin, come all the way up, lunge, lift your chest, spin your back heel up if you can. Drop your tailbone, knit your front ribs in. Relax your shoulders. Extend through your elbows. Take a breath. Good, and then warrior three, lean forward, push into your standing foot, lift your left leg. Hands are wherever it's helpful. Excite your back leg, include it in the process. So energize it. Straighten your knee, spread your toes, pull your sternum forward. And from your right sitting bone, push down into your right heel. Good. Slowly step back. Inhale. You're just going to pivot right side skater now. Bend your right knee, left arm in front. Swim to me. Inhale, come all the way up. High lunge. Exhale, warrior two, heel to arch. Reverse your arms. Inhale. Left side skater, spin. Exhale. Stay low, go to the back. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, warrior three. Step back, lunge. Inhale with control. Right side skater, spin and pivot. Bend your right knee, left arm in front. Swim forward. Inhale, lunge. Drop your tailbone. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse, inhale. Left side skater, exhale, get low. To the back, inhale. So we're never really still here. Exhale, warrior three. The pose is constantly unfolding. Step back, lunge. Right side skater, bend your right knee. To the front, inhale. Paint the inside of the rib cage. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse, inhale. Left side skater. Good, stay low. Inhale to the back, spinning the thigh bones in the socket, working those rotators. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale, step back with control. Exhale, right side skater. Stay low to the front, inhale. Exhale, just spin the back leg, warrior two. Reverse. Exhale, skater. To the back, inhale. Warrior three, exhale. Step back, inhale. Exhale, right side skater. Good, we have one more round. Inhale, come to me. Exhale, warrior two, get low. Sink in there. Left side skater, inhale. Oh, sorry. Reverse. Exhale, left side skater. To the back, inhale. Exhale, warrior three. Step back, inhale. Right side skater, get low. Stay inside of the heat, come forward, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Cartwheel your hands down, spin your back heel up, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Stay or take the new vinyasa. Plank, sternum, tippy toes, chaturanga, cobra, sphinx, locust. And then push back to child's pose. And if child's pose isn't restful, you can sit back on the heels, close your eyes. Notice the invigoration. Notice the circulation, the heat. And how can we start to use our practice in a way that it's therapeutic? That it's addressing us as a whole person, a whole being, not just a physical body, but this energetic body, this emotional body. Because our issues are in our tissues. We're not separate than the body, but we are not the body. So finding a way to tune in and find this presence and this stillness, this steadiness inside of the breath and using the shapes then as a balm or a remedy, that we use our yoga as medicine. Take another breath and just soak in that circulation. Let it inform the way that your heart beats the rest of the day, the way that you breathe the rest of the day. There's this deep embedding and encoding that you're doing here. You're not just like going through the motions and waiting for it to be over with so you can go get coffee later. Hopefully, that's not what you're doing. Feel the practice come inside and spread through you, that vitality, that pulsation, the prana or chi. And then make your way to downward dog, please. Paint your breath. Back ribs, side ribs, front ribs. Good. Step your right foot forward and we're coming into side angle pose. So Parsva Konasana. You may want to block, spin your back heel down so it's warrior two legs, heel to arch. You can bring your forearm to your thigh. You can bring your hand to a block and bring your fingertips to the floor. Left arm can come up or overhead. You can also take a half bind. I'm going to just kind of leave this up to you. You're going to be still for 1 minute though. So set up your pose and then breathe. Lean back. Feel the foundation. Steady yourself. Try to stack the left shoulder on top of the right shoulder. Draw your throat back, head back, and then just be still. Feel the parts of the body that are showing up. We start to create presence inside of the stillness. We stop trying to fix and adjust and shift, and we have moments where we're just fully here. 20 more seconds. That's 2 really deep breaths. As you exhale the next time, push down into your feet. If you have a bind at all, undo it. Come on up. Turn sideways into goddess or horse stance. Toes out, heels in. Bend your knees, interlace your fingers, flip your palms up, reach the ceiling up towards the sky with the palms. And we're going to come into breath of fire here. So that's just a sharp exhale and an inhale. And the diaphragm is pulling up on the exhale. Take an inhale, exhale completely. Push up through the palms, inhale, and begin. Think about rinsing out and moving through you the things that get stuck, that prevent you from being fully here or fully yourself. Think about purging and releasing and moving them through you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just stay. Let your breath be. You're almost there. Push into your heels, straighten your legs. Turn to the back of your mat, warrior two. Bend your left knee. Take your right hand to your right hip. Reach your left hand forward. Walk your back foot in, and we're coming into hovering half moon. So your right leg will straighten, your left leg will straighten, and you'll hover your right foot behind you. Left hand is reaching to the back of the room. Now spin your ribcage open though. Don't turn down like warrior three, lift up. So your belly button is moving sideways. Your right side waist should turn on a lot. Good, and just stay here. Let it be awkward. Breathe. Good. 2 more really slow breaths. Keep spinning your right lung up. Bend your standing knee, step back, take your hands to the floor blocks, turn your hips and square them, come into Parsvottanasana. So both legs are straight. Left foot is left of center. Your pelvis is square. Drop your head. Drop your brain in a way that maybe you can feel the brain move closer to the top of your skull. And then just like a bead of sweat, can you drip off the tension? Can you drip off the criticism, the inner dialogue? And just be fully present with what's showing up. Take one more breath. Walk your hands inside your right foot. Turn sideways on your mat. Come into Prasarita Padottanasana. So separate the feet, fold forward. Toes are looking at the long edge of your mat. Feet are parallel. You can widen your stance if you like. And then find your breath again. Go to the back ribs. That bottom back rib, that 12th rib, can you find it? And fill it with breath, and then move it around to the sides and the front. And as you exhale, rinsing out and letting go. Walk your hands to your right foot. Spin both feet to the front of the room. Step back, downward facing dog. Good, and you can either take a vinyasa or stay here. The new vinyasa is plank, sternum, toes, lower, shalabhasana, lowering, plank, and back to dog. Good, bring your left foot forward. Think warrior 2 in the legs. Heel to arch. You can bring your left forearm to your thigh, side angle pose. Right arm is either reaching towards me, up overhead. Maybe you have a half bind. Maybe you take a block on the outside of your leg, or your fingertips come to the floor. But stay. 1 minute. Feel your front ribs pull in, and from the inner body, you're spinning open. So not from the skin, but from your left lung spinning forwards and up, and your right lung spinning down and back. Feel the body. And then where are you harboring tension that's masquerading as activation? It's masquerading as strength. And can you find just enough strength to be here? And be still with what you find. You have 2 more breaths, really slow breaths. Exhale completely. If you have the bind, undo it. Push down, come on up. Turn sideways, horse stance, toes out, heels in. Bend your knees. If you want more, you're going to bend your knees more. If you need less, you're going to come up higher. Interlace your fingers. Put the opposite finger on top, so it should feel weird. Flip your palms, reach up, and we're coming into breath of fire. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Good. Inhale and begin. Close or soften your eyes. Start to feel that you're able to offer into this breath the ability to let go of the things that are bogging you down, that make you obsess over things that are unhelpful. You feel your ability to purge and release. Last 3, 2, 1, and then just stay. Breathe. Find that deep inner strength and lean into it. You just have one more breath. Without judging it, just stay in it. And then slowly straighten your legs. Turn to the back of your mat, warrior 2. Good. Take your left hand to your left hip. Reach your right hand towards your right leg there. Scoot your back foot in and come into half moon, hovering though. So you're going to be pretty upright. Lift your chest, lift your left foot. Turn sideways. And you can go up higher to help with the balance. This one actually is more effective if you can stay up a little higher. It's going to work the side of your waistline if you stay up a little higher. And then breathe. Spin open. Dropping into the right foot from right sitting bone. Find a connection down. Spin your right lung towards your left lung from the front of the body. Deep breath. So even here, as you're activating the waistline, can you still paint inside the rib cage with your awareness? You have one more breath, one slow breath. Bend your right knee, set your left foot down, spin towards your right leg, and bring your hands to the floor. Parsvottanasana. Straighten your legs, grab your blocks and put them under your hands if you need them. Drip your brain down. What continually shows up again and again and again, and can you use your practice here and let the exhale and the stillness begin to shed and drop the criticisms, the judgments, and that you just notice and feel your body push into your inner right heel, press it down more, and pull your right hip away from your right heel. Slide your right hip back. And then go inside the sensation. Instead of avoiding it, instead of wishing it away, what if you just started to drop the opinions and go inside the experience? You have one more breath here. Paint the inside of your rib cage. Back lowest rib. Work it around to the sides, to the front, and then rinse out and let your head get just a little heavier. Soften your right knee. Put your hands inside your right foot. Turn sideways on your mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. Come onto your fingertips here. Lift your chest and think about your sitting bone skin. Lift it up. Keep lifting the sitting bone skin up. Push your heels down and fold. And then again, just having that feeling, that sense of the brain dropping into the top of the skull. Walk your hands to your left foot, please. Step back, downward facing dog. Come to your knees. Find your blocks, please, and place them on the highest setting on either side of your ankles. So you don't have to use the blocks. We're going to come into camel, which is a back bend, but we're going to hold it. A lot of times we kind of just, back bends are like a flash in the pan and then we come out. And what we're using this today is a remedy. So what I want to do is to create this opening and this holding in the upper body. These are our lung and heart meridians, and we want to hold. So it needs to be something sustainable, right? And that's why the blocks are helpful, or maybe you take your hands to the sacrum. So come on up, stand on your knees. You can tuck or point the toes. Drop your tailbone. This is really important. Tailbone heavy. Hug in around the sides of the waist. Take your hands to your hips and pull your elbows towards each other. So we get this big opening in the chest. Sometimes what happens is we go into back bends and the shoulders pull forward, and this is no longer a back bend, right? So better to be here than here. Okay, so just looking for this opening. Remember, we're working on this medicinal property of the meridians. So we want to get the maximum benefit. Hug in around the sides of the waist, elbows back, lift the sternum. Draw the throat back, start to curl back, and you might stay here. You might bring your fingertips to the blocks. I like to keep my chin forward, but squeeze the shoulders back. You can drop the head back if you want. Just make sure it's comfortable and sustainable. Lift your heart up towards your chin. Push down with the outer hips and the tailbone, and breathe. And notice it's a little challenging to find the rims of the rib cage. Can you take the breath all the way down to the bottom rib and the back body? Paint it around to the sides and then to the front. Close or soften your eyes. And instead of it being about the depth of the pose, it's the medicinal properties of the pose. Can you go in to the tissues that have a certain pattern and tendency and start to reawaken and enliven them? Shining the light of your breath in there. Good. Ground down into your knees, reach your tailbone down, hug into the sides of the waist. Take your hands to your pelvis, curl up. Head is the last thing to come up. Good. And then we're coming into Virasana now. So your feet are just wide enough to sit between them. The tops of your feet will be on the floor. And for many of us, we may need to sit up on a block or two in order to keep the knees safe and happy. Inner heel should touch the outer hip. Your baby toenail should be looking at the floor. It'll feel a little pigeon-toey. If you're all the way down, you can walk the hands back and start to recline and come all the way down. But I just want you to settle into something that you can stay. And then close or soften your eyes and breathe. And this one is less about the back bend. We're working on some meridians up the front of the thighs. We have stomach and spleen meridians. So our digestive meridians, even the gallbladder meridian running through the side of the body. And we're just trying to awaken the tissue. So what we did is we circulated and we moved things around. And now we're just holding posture so we can get a little bit of stretch and length and unclogging of all the different energy channels in the body. Which when our systems are working better, especially our nervous system, all of our systems are happier. All of them are working more efficiently. We can digest better, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. That we breathe better. Our heart pumps more efficiently. Take your breath in and paint the back of your ribs. the sides of your ribs, the front of your ribs. And then exhale, rinse them out. Feel the barrel of the chest collect itself towards center. Good. You have one more breath here. Let the pelvis get heavy. Noticing your experience. And then slowly start to come on up. And we're coming into dolphin pose. So you're going to interlace your fingers in front of you. Press your elbows down. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. So there's this pressure that you're constantly pushing down into the elbows and wrists with. You're going to tuck your toes. Lift your pelvis up and drop your head. So you may want to widen your feet. You may want to bend your knees so you can get your pelvis up higher. But then I want you to do nothing with your head, neck, and shoulders. Push down through the wrists and the elbows. Drip your brain down. Lift your pelvis. Good. And you can come down at any point if you need to. If you can, float your right leg up. So we're kind of shaking up the snow globe of the body here. And hit a back bend, open the front of the thighs, and now we're turning things upside down and rinsing them out. Push down into your wrists, your elbows, drop your brain. Take one more breath here. Set your right foot down if it's up, lower your knees and slide back into child's pose. Arms are wherever it's helpful. Just drop in, soak it in. Good, and then we're going to come up and repeat that again. Come onto your knees, find your blocks. Place them on either side of your ankles there. Flex or point your toes. We're coming into camel once again. Drop the tailbone, hug in around the sides of the waist. Lift your shoulders up, roll your shoulders back. So you present this big opening in the front of the chest. And if that means you stay here, because this is what we're looking for. You want to take it back a little further. You can start to curl back. Maybe fingertips to blocks. Try not to like bear down on the blocks though. So it should really have this capacity of like rooting down and this gentle, sustainable back bend. Notice how the shoulders want to pull forward, right? Keep lifting the head of the arm bones, rolling the shoulders back, exposing the tissue on the front of the chest and broadening your clavicles. Close or soften your eyes. Keep rooting down into your knees, into the pelvis, and there's an uplifting feeling in the spine that we're not compressing and squishing. We're lifting up the rib cage. We're lifting up the spine. Good. Paint the back of the ribs. Take one more breath here. Really slow it down. Empty out. Push down, push down, push down. Slowly come on up. And then we're coming back into Virasana. Knees are close. Feet are just wide enough to sit in between them. Baby toes are on the floor. Baby toenails. Grab a block if you need them. Since you have your blocks, you can also, if you're all the way down and you want to come back, you can support the rib cage on the blocks. If you want to recline. Remember, it's not the goal though. The goal is to open up the tissue in the body that you brought today. Right? I spent a long time trying to open somebody else's body. And it's important that we start to recognize and observe that we're all made up differently. Even though we have pretty much the same parts, we have different experiences. We have different genetics. We have different lifestyles. We have different jobs. And so when we start to use the practice therapeutically and medicinally, we can start to recognize that the practice meets us wherever we are. You're not missing anything. There's nothing you have to go get or add to or take away, that the practice can actually come in and meet you right where you are and help optimize where you're at in the moment. If we let it. If we let the mind kind of get still and we start to move into the body and pay attention. Lovingly pay attention, not scrutinizing and criticizing and judging. You have one more really. Just kind of settle in, sink in, because less is more many times. And then start to re-support yourself. Come on up. And we're coming into dolphin again. Interlace your fingers. Push down with your wrists and your elbows. Get your shoulders back into their sockets by shrugging the shoulders down. Lift your hips. Drop your head. So you'll feel the knees flush out a little bit. Remember, you can go wide with your feet. You can also bend your knees, and that's going to help you tip the pelvis up higher, which is really what we want. I don't care how close your feet are. I don't care how bent your knees are. What I want is that inversion, that we're shaking up that snow globe. And then left leg to the sky if you did the right side. Push the floor away with your wrists, your elbows. Drop your head. Do nothing with your head. Can you start to separate that tension? Our upper traps love to be involved in everything. Feel the sides of your rib cage light up as you push your elbows down and push the floor away. These three postures, camel, virasana, and dolphin or forearm stand, are three postures that I use almost regularly when I need a quick practice, when I need a quick rinse, when I need a reset or I'm not feeling well. Instead of just reserving our practice for our studio time or whatever, we start to take it with us. So there's a carryover, which then it makes it more effective. You have one more breath here. If your leg is up, float it down. Set your knees down, child's pose. Drop your arms, drop your head, drop your brain. And just softly land here. Paint the back of your lowest rib. Move it around to the sides and then to the front. And then exhale, just dissolve, drip away any tension, any stress, anything at all that creates disharmony or imbalances. Just feel it dripping off of you, rinsing out of the tissues. And then when you're ready, make your way onto your back, please. Just going to take a gentle twist. Take your time. There's absolutely no hurry. I'm going to drop both knees over to the right. You can do any configuration with your legs that you like. Close your eyes. Just a gentle twist, this kind of final gesture of rinsing out. Come back to center. Take both legs over to the left. Same configuration of your legs, but lay back against the floor. Feel that gentle encouragement of purging and rinsing, releasing. And then when you're ready, your knees will come back to center. Just check in if you need anything else before Shavasana, please take it. Otherwise, your arms and legs will relax. And you'll rest. Just notice the pulsation and circulation inside of you. Notice the ease of your breath. There's no effort, there's no form. There's just this ability to be still and to soak in and recognize the benefits of your practice. The mind goes other places. Just label it thinking and come back for another minute and just be still. Feel the inside of your body. Feel the energy, the prana or the chi and the pulsation just swirling and moving effortlessly. That your practice can meet you like that. Start to lovingly tend to our bodies, but that we also include our minds, our hearts, our spirits in the process, so that we're receiving the maximum benefits. Ever so gently, just find that 12th lowest back rib and breathe into it. And let the breath spread through the sides of the rib cage to the front. Even feel the inner border of the lungs inflating towards midline. And as you exhale, just land and be. Capture that stillness as you bend your knees. Take it with you as you roll over to your side, and eventually will rise up to seated. Take your time. Hands at heart. Now for a bow into practice. into our ability to participate with our health, to use our practice to meet us where we are day by day, breath by breath, not because it fixes anything, but because it helps us along our journey. Thank you so much for your practice. Let's close with Om. Inhale. Om. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.